Dare to uncover the chilling secrets that lie beneath the surface of Dover. Delaware, this historic city, with its cobblestone streets and centuries-old buildings, is more than just a picturesque locale. It's a breeding ground for ghostly encounters and spine-tingling tales. Join us as we unveil the top 15 haunted places that echo with the whispers of the past, where shadows dance and the restless roam. Are you ready to confront the unknown? One, Woodburn Governor's House, Dover. Deep in the heart of Dover, Delaware, the eerie silhouette of the Woodburn Governor's House emerges against the twilight sky, its weathered walls hiding secrets that could drive the bravest among us to flee in terror. Locals whisper of shadows flitting across the windows and muffled cries echoing through the hallowed halls, so chilling they send shivers down the spine. Built in 1790, this neoclassical manor served as the residence of several state governors. Yet its history is stained with tales of torment and unrest. One particularly haunting story revolves around Governor John McKinley, who, in the throes of 1785, faced a series of personal tragedies, including the death of his children. It is said that McKinley's grief was so profound that it plunged the house into an atmosphere of despair, and those echoes of sorrow have since become a part of the home's very fabric. But the real terror lies in what has transpired within those walls. Visitors report unsettling encounters, such as the feeling of being watched and even whispers of the past clinging to the air like a dense fog. On stormy nights, tales circulate of a spectral figure resembling a melancholy governor wandering the grounds, calling for lost loved ones. Numerous paranormal investigations have recorded an inexplicable drop in temperature, flickering lights, and the unmistakable sound of children laughing, perhaps remnants of the McKinley family's joy cut short by tragedy. Residents of Dover question whether these spectral figures seek closure or simply wish to unveil the secrets buried within the hallowed halls of Woodburn. Yet, wander at your own peril. Dear reader, for the energy within this historic house is palpable, an unsettling reminder of the fragility of life. It beckons to the curious, the adventurous, and the foolish who might dare to explore its shadowed corners. Those who venture into Woodburn must confront the darkness of the past, aware they may not return unchanged, for the weight of grief and loss lingers, binding the living to the dead like a timeless chain. Two, Christ Episcopal Church Cemetery, Dover, beneath the somber shroud of twilight. Christ Episcopal Church Cemetery in Dover, Delaware, stands as a relic of forgotten lives and whispered tales. Amid the imposing tombstones that rise like mournful sentinels, shadows quiver in the flickering light of lanterns, drawing the curious toward an unsettling history rich with tragedy and spectral legacies. Legends envelop this sacred ground, where the echoes of buried secrets and local lore suggest that not all who were laid to rest here have found peace. Some townsfolk speak of an ongoing mystery that lingers in the crisp air, tales of haunted whispers that drift along the pathways, and the spectral form of a grieving woman often seen roaming between the grave markers. Many believe she is the spirit of a mother mourning her lost child, a tragedy that solidified its bond with the spiritual realm. Her cries echo through the night, capturing the hearts of those who dare approach the cemetery after dark. Historically, this hallowed ground has witnessed the sorrow and loss of generations. Dating back to the early 19th century, when Dover was a burgeoning community, evidence of the paranormal has been documented by several ghost hunting groups, who claim to have captured disembodied voices and strange apparitions on film. bolstering the cemetery's reputation as a hotspot for the supernatural. The tale is further complicated by the disquieting realization that many of the interred faced untimely demises, forging a link between their restless spirits and the land where they now dwell. Yet, a word of caution rings in the air approaching Christ Episcopal Church Cemetery, particularly under the heavy cloak of night, may lead not just to glimpses of long-departed souls, but to profound disturbances that disrupt the veil between the living and the dead. Those who visit should tread lightly, for the eyes of the past may watch from the shadows, and once you sense the weight of their sorrow, it may be too late to turn back. Three, Legislative Hall, Dover. The air hangs heavy with a chill as dusk descends upon Legislative Hall in Dover, Delaware, where whispers of the past intertwine with the modern echoes of governance. This stately structure, built in 1791, stands not only as a testament to the evolution of democracy, but also as a beacon for restless spirits allegedly swirling within its hallowed halls. Locals recount tales of eerie encounters, phosphorescent orbs seen flitting through windows, and inexplicable cold spots that seize the living by their throats, chilling them to the bone. The roots of these stories intertwine with the building's history, which is marked by political tumult and significant social upheaval. One particularly dark chapter involves the tragic fating of former Delaware Governor John G. Townsend Jr., who reportedly experienced haunting visions before his death in office. Some believe his discontent lingers on, manifesting as spectral visits to night watchmen still drawing breath within the building's walls. These accounts are further supported by a series of paranormal investigations, notably the one in 2016 conducted by the Delaware Ghost Tours, which revealed fluctuations in electromagnetic fields and sudden temperature drops that suggested the presence of another realm. Delving deeper, researchers unearthed that Legislative Hall was constructed on grounds that the local Lenape tribes held sacred, believed to be steeped in both spiritual significance and tragedy. The very soil seems to whisper with the memories of those who tread upon it, both those who forged a new state and those who lost their lives in pursuit of a legacy. Take heed, however, as you stand before this echoing monument to civic achievement. Those who delve into its depths often leave transformed, touched by the ethereal others who dwell within, reminding all who enter that some spirits cling close to their unfinished affairs. Be warned, for every decision made in those corridors, the weight of the past may sift into the present, leaving unsettling traces on the soul. Four, John Dickinson Plantation, Dover. Nestled in the heart of Dover, Delaware, the John Dickinson Plantation looms ominously against the night sky, its shadowy silhouette flickering in the shadows, bearing witness to centuries of history mingled with the supernatural. The air swells with whispers of the past, inviting only the bravest to explore its cobblestone paths, where locals have long spun tales of restless spirits marking their territories with eerie moans and the chilling rustle of ghostly footsteps. The plantation, once home to John Dickinson, a founding father and prominent political figure, has stood since the early 18th century, harboring untold secrets beneath its gracious facade. Situated upon the lands of a former colonial structure, the property is steeped in grim folklore, hinting at darker, tragic events that linger like a heavy fog. Eyewitness accounts speak of phantom figures roaming the garden and the estate's creaky halls, particularly in the upstairs rooms, where disembodied voices echo like carriages on cobblestones. Reminiscent of Dickinson's debates with fellow political figures, discussions that remain unfinished in the air. Historians note that the site once functioned as a hub for the Revolutionary War and an agricultural center, where harsh realities for enslaved individuals punctured the serene veneer, creating an emotional landscape woven with pain. Tragedy struck the lives of many connected to the Dickinson family, with tales of individuals who succumbed to illness or despair, haunting reminders of their humanity echoing through time. Visitors have recounted chilling encounters, feeling a sudden drop in temperature as they brushed against unearthed memories echoed in hushed voices, warning them of the plantation's past. The infamous ghostly apparition of a woman in white, believed to be a sorrowful former slave, is said to plead compassion from those who dare to traverse her restless grounds, forever searching for solace. As you consider visiting this storied site, tread carefully. The weight of history carries a haunting reminder. Some spirits might not wish to be disturbed, for their sorrow is deeply intertwined with the soil itself. Proceed with caution. You might find yourself tangled in threads far thicker than mere lore. Five, Johnson Victrola Museum, Dover. In the heart of Dover, Delaware, the Johnson Victrola Museum stands as a solemn tribute to the early days of recorded sound, its weathered facade whispering secrets of the past. Yet, amidst the nostalgic allure of gramophones and phonographs, there lingers an unsettling darkness, a chilling atmosphere that entangles even the most casual visitor. Local rumors swirl through the streets, whispering of spectral encounters and disembodied voices that drift within its walls after sundown. Staff and guests alike have recounted eerie occurrences, from strange echoes of the music that once filled the hallways to fleeting glimpses of shadowy figures that seem to pick through the museum's valuable collection. Their intentions as inscrutable as the dust-covered relics they haunt. The museum is located in the former home of Eldridge R. Johnson, an innovative figure in audio technology, whose passion brought forth the Victrola, a symbol of musical innovation and accessibility. However, this legacy is not devoid of tragedy. The home, and specifically the upstairs area, was the site of a heartbreaking incident. Johnson's wife, who tragically succumbed to a brief but severe illness, has been suggested as a possible source of its ghostly inhabitants. Reports of her spirit lingering among the exhibits, reliving her sorrow, have become a staple of local folklore. Some visitors claim to hear her sobs intermingling with the whispers of old records playing on a loop when no one is around, leading many to suspect that the boundary between past and present has collapsed within the museum's walls. But heed this warning. The Johnson Victrola Museum is not just a place of history. It's a realm where the echoes of grief might beckon the curious to linger too long. As you traverse its halls, remember that to disturb the resting places of lost souls could lead to unnerving encounters far beyond an unexpected chill or a fleeting shadow. Should you choose to explore, steel yourself against the whispers. For in this sanctuary of sound, every corner may hold a piece of that tragic past, ready to ensnare the living. Six, Biggs Museum of American Art, Dover. In the heart of Dover, Delaware, the Biggs Museum of American Art stands as a monolith to creativity. Yet beneath its cultural facade lurks an unsettling history that whispers of the ephemeral and the eerie. Locals recount ghostly tales, suggesting that the museum is not merely a repository of art, but a vestige of unresolved spirits. The structure itself, completed in 1993, sits on land rich with history. But what haunts it more deeply are the remnants of the past lives entwined in Delaware's complex societal fabric, including the transience of artists who once roamed the state and the troubled history of the Native American communities pushed aside in the name of progress. Rumors of disembodied voices and inexplicable cold spots have seeped into the local lore, as visitors often report feeling an unexpected chill or the sensation of being watched upon entering the gallery of portraits. One particularly tragic story involves a former curator who poured his heart into the museum, using his knowledge of art to educate countless visitors. However, gripped by despair after losing a beloved family member, he plunged into an abyss of grief deeper than any canvas could capture. Following his untimely demise, accounts of his lingering presence flourished. His spirit is said to wander the galleries, lingering near his favorite exhibits, reflecting the tragic disconnect between his passion and the despair that followed him. As dusk falls and shadows converge, the faint sound of footsteps can be heard echoing through the hallowed halls, warning those who enter that not all visitors have moved on. For those curious enough to seek out the unknown, the challenge lies in the duality of art and agony that envelops the museum. Can you, too, navigate the fine line between inspiration and despair? Do you dare to confront the restless souls trapped within these walls, seeking solace in the very place created to celebrate life and beauty? Beware what lingers inside may reveal more than just a glance at art, but a confrontation with the shadows of history that refuse to fade. Seven, Delaware Public Archives Building, Dover. In the heart of Delaware's capital, the Delaware Public Archives Building stands as a sentinel of history, its brick facade looming under the weight of the past, whispering tales of bygone eras and restless souls trapped within its walls. Locals often speak in hushed tones about the chilling presence that haunts this otherwise unassuming structure. It is said that the archives house not just documents and artifacts, but also echoes of despair from centuries past. From its inception in the 1930s, the building has served as a repository for the state's historical treasures. But behind its doors lies a darker narrative steeped in the turmoil of the past. Employees recount unexplainable occurrences, cold spots that sweep through the reading rooms, the distinct feeling of being watched, and shadows darting just beyond their line of sight. The lore suggests that the restless spirit of a former archivist, lost during a tragic fire in the basement of a nearby building, roams through the stacks, searching for records that were charred beyond recognition. This archivist, a diligent worker dedicated to preserving Delaware's history, met with a horrific fate when flames engulfed the old structure in the late 1800s. Many believe his spirit lingers, caught in an eternal loop, bound by his unfinished duty to safeguard the state's legacy. Strange phenomena abound, with objects inexplicably moving, lights flickering, and brief whispers that echo through the halls, leaving an unsettling dread in their wake. Sightings of a shadowy figure near the archives have led paranormal investigators to conclude that the restless energy manifests in tangible ways, as if seeking to communicate the importance of the documents lost in that tragic blaze. But beware, dear reader, should you tread within the walls of the Delaware Public Archives. Prepare yourself not only to confront the echoes of history, but to face the unknown lurking in the shadows. 8. Schwarz Center for the Arts, Dover. In the heart of Dover, the Schwarz Center for the Arts looms like a relic from a bygone era, its once vibrant facade now tinged with an unsettling decay. As night falls, shadows creep along its ornate architecture, casting eerie silhouettes that seem to whisper secrets of decades long gone. Built in 1910, This establishment has always drawn crowds for its artistic programs and cultural events, but beneath its surface lies a web of chilling tales that has captivated the local community. Rumors swirl about ghostly performances by the spirits of former actors and patrons who never quite left the hallowed halls of this storied venue. Some recall the ill-fated production of Macbeth, during which a leading actress tragically fell from the stage. Her life extinguished in an instant. Her spirit, they say, now wanders the dimly lit backstage, still rehearsing lines in a soft, haunting whisper. As investigations into the Schwarz Center's spectral inhabitants have intensified, paranormal enthusiasts have alleged that unexplained phenomena abound, disembodied voices echoing in the auditorium, cold spots drifting through the lobby, and the flickering of lights as if signaling the return of the long gone. An investigative team once captured a chilling audio recording during a late-night seance. The faint sound of an unseen woman sobbing could be distinctly heard, accompanied by a heavy silence that enveloped the room as the temperature dropped suddenly. And yet, what truly haunts those who enter is the palpable feeling of being watched, a sensation that uneasily grips the heart, along with the oppressive weight of unfulfilled art and lost dreams. For the brave souls eager to explore this cultural landmark, heed this warning. The spirits that dwell within the Schwarz Center for the Arts are not merely tales for the faint of heart. As you delve deeper into their world, remember that some doors, once opened, may never fully close, and you may find yourself forever entangled in the tragic narratives of those who continue to perform in the shadows. Remaining vigilant may be your only hope of escaping their grasp, lest you too become part of their unending audience. 9. Silver Lake Park, Dover. In the stillness of night, Silver Lake Park in Dover exudes an unsettling silence that feels as if the very air is thick with memories that refuse to settle. The park, once a vibrant recreational space, now serves as a haunting reminder of sorrow intertwined with the glimmering reflections of the lake's surface. Locals whisper of strange apparitions and inexplicable events, children's laughter echoing from empty picnic areas, shadows flitting between trees, and the faint, sorrowful sound of a woman's weeping drifting on the breeze. These tales, rooted in the tragic events of the mid-20th century, speak of a ferry accident that claimed the lives of several individuals, including a mother and her young daughter, who were said to be last seen near the lake's north shore. Continuing the tragic legacy, reports suggest that on stormy nights, some unsuspecting wanderers have claimed to see a pale figure, draped in white, searching desperately along the water's edge for something or someone lost to time. This ghostly silhouette is often described as the grieving mother, forever trapped between this world and the next, endlessly seeking her child amid the park's tranquil facade. Skeptics dismiss these stories as mere folklore, but the chilling atmosphere of the park, augmented by dense fog rolling over the water, provides a visceral sensation that something is amiss. Notably, in recent years, visitors have even shared experiences of inexplicable cold spots and brief glimpses of spectral figures, supported by photographs capturing orbs of light hovering mysteriously above the lake. Such documented encounters compel one to consider the darker truth hidden within this seemingly serene landscape. Those who dare to traverse the park after dark must heed this warning. The veil between our world and the next is tenuous here, and the moments of eerie quietude may just hold the secrets of the souls longing for peace at a price that not all can afford. Enter Silver Lake Park and tread lightly. You may leave with more than you came for. Wesley College, Old Main, Dover. In the hushed shadows of Wesley College, Old Main, a creaking edifice looming over the serene lawns of Dover, Delaware, whispers of disquiet linger with the wind. As day fades to twilight, the haunting silhouette of this 19th century building reveals more than just an architectural relic. For those who dare linger too long, its historical resonance grows palpable, shrouded in a tapestry of sorrow and spectral lore. Established in 1873, Wesley College's Old Main has seen more than its share of tumult, serving not just as a bastion of learning, but also as a cocoon for tragedy. The rumors weave through local lore, recounting the tragic tale of a young woman, a student named Emily, who, according to legend, fell from the building's narrow staircase, her bright future extinguished in an instant. While the school has never confirmed the specifics of her demise, tales abound of the heartbroken girl who still roams the hallways, eyes cast down and wails echoing in the darkened corridors. Some have claimed to feel an inexplicable chill enveloping them as they ascend the staircase where she met her fate, while others report a shadowy figure glimpsed at twilight, trailing the edges of the dimly lit rooms. Analysis of these experiences reveals a chilling pattern. Unexplained cold spots coincide with the mention of Emily's name, while fading photographs appear to reveal dark figures where none stood moments before. As tales turned into warnings, there emerged an unspoken challenge. Those who tread too closely to her haunted domain might find themselves caught in a web of despair if they do not pay heed to her tragic presence. So, if you venture to Wesley College, Old Main, approach with caution. Do not invoke the name of Emily without respect, for her sorrow may just extend beyond the grave, pulling you into the depths of her lingering grief. Delaware State University Campus, Dover. On the tranquil campus of Delaware State University in Dover, an eerie silence often blankets the grounds as twilight descends, broken only by the rustling leaves and distant sounds that seem to echo stories long forgotten. While the humming of student life fills the air during the day, whispers of the unsettling past rise at night, revealing a deeply rooted fear among locals, the spectral presence of a woman, roaming the older sections of the campus, searching for something or someone lost. This woman, many believe, is the spirit of a former student who tragically fell to her death from a dormitory window decades ago, shrouding the university's history in sorrow and lingering questions. As tales of the Dover ghost spread, so too did suspicious reports of cold spots, flickering lights, and even shadowy figures at the windows of the college's oldest buildings, particularly Hastings Hall. Constructed in the early 1900s, Hastings is frequently mentioned in ghost stories, potentially due to its turbulent history. In the late 1960s, it served as a counseling center where many students struggled with their mental health, some even contemplating taking their own lives. Further adding to the site's tragic past, eyewitness accounts describe a woman with cascading dark hair, dressed in a vintage white gown, who occasionally appears both on the staircase and by the window where she last gazed out before her fall, her ethereal presence eliciting a profound sense of sorrow in those who encounter her apparition. Hearing such accounts, one might dismiss them as mere urban legends, but those who have experienced inexplicable happenings in Hastings Hall often report feeling watchful eyes upon them and an unnerving sense that they are not alone. As dusk settles and the shadows lengthen, heed this warning. To tread too close within the ghostly realm of Delaware State University is to invite the specters of the past to cross your path, their stories etched in the very walls that once held their vibrant lives. now hauntingly empty. The Golden Fleece Tavern site, Dover. The Golden Fleece Tavern in Dover, a historic landmark dating back to the 16th century, stands like a weathered sentinel at the corner of Pottington Street, draped in shadows and tales steeped in the macabre. Its timber-framed exterior, adorned with age-worn stones, whispers secrets to those who linger too long. Locals recount chilling anecdotes of flickering lanterns and disembodied whispers that seem to float through the air, warning the unwary of stepping too close to the tavern's heavy oak doors after dark. Historically serving weary travelers, the tavern played a pivotal role during wartime and witnessed the aftermath of many a drunken brawl, sealing the fate of several souls within its walls, but none so tragic as that of a young woman named Mary. According to local legend, she was a barmaid who fell in love with a sailor, only to be abandoned when he failed to return from a fateful voyage. Heartbroken, she is said to have taken her own life in the upstairs room, and now her spirit is rumored to wander the tavern, eternally searching for her lost love. Patrons often report chilling drafts and the inexplicable sound of footsteps echoing in empty halls, while some even claim to have seen her translucent figure at the bar, soft weeping resounding in the silence. The sightings have led to ghost hunts, folklore tours, and even a haunting on Halloween nights, igniting curiosity among thrill seekers. But the spirited gasps of those who dare to spend the night tell a different story. Those who have ventured to sleep within the tavern's confines speak of nightmares so vivid that they swear they could hear Mary's melancholic songs echoing through their dreams. For anyone thinking of visiting the Golden Fleece, heed this warning. Some spirits are not content to remain confined to history, and what lingers there may not be easily shaken off once they have made contact. Dare you enter where love met lust, and life slipped into a shadowy embrace. John Bell House, Dover. In the heart of Dover, Delaware, the John Bell House looms ominously, a relic steeped in darkness and despair. Shunned by locals, it sits with cracked windows and peeling paint, forever whispering the echoes of its haunted past. Rumors drift through the townsfolk, recalling the Bell family's untimely tragedies amidst strange, paralyzing occurrences that continue to unsettle even the boldest of spirits. Little remains of the original colony house built in the early 19th century, but the lingering presence of the Bell family, particularly that of John Bell, has etched an indelible mark on the landscape. Legend speaks of Bell's mysterious illnesses and curses that plagued him until his death in 1820. And whispers of flickering lights and inexplicable voices have caused many to avoid the area as if it were cursed ground. Local folklore tells of John Bell's afflictions, attributed to an unworldly force, perhaps the wretched spirit of a witch. In a place already fraught with whispers of ill fate, Bell reportedly encountered horrendous apparitions, often hearing ominous sighs and muffled voices that left him paralyzed with fear. His family grew to dread each night as shadows cast through their home flowed like smoke, revealing specters of sorrow and anguish. Some claim to have seen murky figures hovering about the property, forever tied to the sorrow of tragedy and loss. While many dismiss these stories as mere tales meant to frighten children, there remain skeptics who have recorded evidence of chilling disturbances, ambient noises, sudden drafts, and inexplicable energies that stir the air. To tread near the John Bell House is to face an ancient challenge, one that forces onlookers to confront the veil between life and death. Locals warn those who dare enter that they may unwittingly awaken the spirits within. forever bound to the twisted fate of John Bell. The air thickens with unease, and the shadows stretch languidly, reminding all who approach that some doors are best left unopened, eternally sealed by the terrors of the past. Whatcoat Cemetery, Dover. In the dim light of dusk, as shadows stretch long across gravestones, Whatcoat Cemetery in Dover, Delaware, stands as an unsettling memento of restless souls and untold tales. This hallowed ground, established in 1791, serves as the final resting place for many. Yet it is the whispers of the unquiet dead that seem most prominent, lurking like a mist that refuses to dissipate. Locals often speak in hushed tones about eerie figures moving between the stones at night, claiming to feel an inexplicable chill should they dare to cross the cemetery's threshold after sunset. The cemetery is not merely an expanse of earth, but a repository of grief haunted by the specters of the past who cannot relinquish their hold on the living. Historically, Whatcoat Cemetery was associated with the African Methodist Episcopal Church, and its grounds saw the interment of many prominent members of the early African American community. Among them was the tragic story of a child named Emma, whose life was snuffed out far too soon, victims of disease and poverty. Many families found solace in the community that grew within these sacred bounds. Yet, the specter of despair lingers. Witnesses claim that on moonlit nights, the soft sound of a child's laughter and the gentle rustling of a dress brushing against the grass can be heard, evoking visions of a lost little girl searching for her home and her family. Unearthly phenomena have also been reported by visitors' lights flickering inexplicably and the sensation of being watched from the rows of graves. Should you choose to step into this solemn place, be warned. The air thickens as night descends, and a palpable tension lingers, as if the stones themselves are imbued with the longing of those interred. Tread carefully, for the past doesn't always remain buried. Sometimes it rises to greet those who dare disrupt its eternal slumber. Will their sorrow entwine with your own, or will you leave unscathed, an outsider to the memories that refuse to fade? "15. Kent County Courthouse, Dover. On a moonless night in Dover, Delaware, the imposing facade of the Kent County Courthouse looms like a harbinger of dread. Its sturdy granite walls, steeped in time, have witnessed more than just the ebb and flow of legal proceedings. They harbor the whispers of the past and the remnants of souls whose lives were irrevocably altered within its halls. Local lore claims that the courthouse is haunted by the spirit of a distraught woman named Mary Ann Bowers, who was wrongfully convicted of witchcraft in 1865. Her trial was rife with hysteria, a symptom of the era's rampant paranoia regarding the supernatural. She was executed, her cries for justice resonating in the very chambers meant to uphold law and order. As the years rolled on, many have reported sightings of a spectral figure draped in white, wandering the courthouse grounds. Her face a mask of agony and betrayal, a sorrowful reminder of the injustice she suffered. Some visitors describe feeling a chilling presence, a sudden drop in temperature, or an inexplicable sense of dread as they navigate the building's shadowy corridors. The ghost of Mary Ann isn't the only one. Former clerks have recounted unsettling experiences, hearing faint echoes of anguished cries and the shuffling of unseen feet when the courthouse stood deserted late at night. However, the official records cannot account for these experiences, leaving lingering questions of what truly haunts this venerable institution. To those brave enough to venture beyond the mundane, heed this warning. History is not just a series of dates. It is alive, and sometimes those who endure the most profound suffering refuse to fade quietly into oblivion. As you traverse the historic corridors of the Kent County Courthouse, remember, you might not be alone. An unseen specter may walk beside you, tethering you to a history steeped in sorrow, injustice, and a fierce desire for vindication that echoes through time. Thanks for joining us on this spooky stroll through the top 15 haunted places in Dover, Delaware. If you enjoyed the chills and thrills, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss our ghostly adventures. Next week, we'll dive into the eerie legends surrounding abandoned asylums. Prepare for more hair-raising tales. Until then, stay spooky!